Hi, how's it going? I'm Marlene. Thanks for wandering by. So it's night where I am at, and I just painted my nails today and realized that I have nail polish all over my hands. Anyway, it's night where I am, and I thought I would just come on to talk about Oracle decks. That's what I wanted to talk about and kind of have a little bit of a play. I'll show you the Oracle deck that I've been playing, that brought me here, that made me want to talk to all of you about it. So I have an ongoing experimental, kind of trying to figure this thing out sort of deal with Oracle decks. I really love Oracle decks when I see them. They're usually so different. It's something outside of the tarot. It's something I don't know, they each have their own story. They're usually, depending on, what you see and where you find them, the artwork can be really alluring and beautiful and things like that. But because Oracle decks are so specific to their own particular theme, and because they don't follow a system like the tarot does, I've always been sort of unsure how to approach Oracle. And I feel like the way that I use Oracle is still very much like an evolution, I definitely still am in an evolution with my tarot practice, but with Oracle decks, I guess I'll just start showing you. This is the Celtic Spirit Oracle, and this is new to me, and I haven't really read with it much yet, but so the thing about it is, about oracles in general, is that I'm fascinated by them because of one, for whatever reason or another. This one attracted me because it's really beautiful, and because Celtic mythology, Celtic spirits, this kind of theme seemed like it would be, it was interesting to me. I wanted to kind of learn more and use a deck like this because of that. It sparked my fancy, that's kind of how I'll say. I'm exploring different, mythologies. I'm exploring different types of, study across witchcraft and paganism and things like that. I'm not subscribing to any particular path, I'm just sort of exploring, right? And so anyway, this is one of the ones that caught my eye. And so the setup for this particular Oracle deck is different than the other Oracle decks that I have. I typically have Oracle decks that are just an image and then one keyword or key phrase underneath that image. And usually the key phrase or keyword is very much tied into the image, and you don't really have to go into a guidebook to read about whatever it may be. So this one is a little bit different. So it has the image, and this is really, I like this too because it's got this really plain background, and then it has the image that kind of stands out in the foreground. So it's not very busy, it's a little bit more minimal. And then it has the name, I think that's pronounced Caradwen. And then this has 3 different keywords, so transformation, knowledge, and magic. So I'm not familiar with, I believe Caradwen is a goddess. I'm not very familiar with her lore. So, it's interesting to find out more about her. So in my exploration of Oracle decks, what I tend to do and what I did with this deck when I opened it up was I feel very comfortable with the tarot, And I like the way that I test whether or not an oracle deck is for me is by pairing it alongside different tarot decks to see how it's gonna work for me. Because usually the way that oracle, so far the way that oracle has been, oh, and let me show you the edges of this. I did not edge this, it came edged. And then, oh, these are the pretty backs. So yeah, this oracle, I think it's been around for a little while. Anyway, I pair it with tarot because I just want to play. Like I want to see if, you know, these words paired, you know, this image and the mythology that I would read about, how it looks next to different decks. And I was already thinking when I, you know, saw this oracle deck online that I would pair it with the Druidcraft. And that's where I started. So let me just grab the Druidcraft and then I'll show you kind of, you know, what I do. So like I want to see how it's gonna look. So aesthetically, I also want to get the idea of how they're gonna feel next to one another. And you know, and so that's what I do. So this is the Druidcraft. And this is a version I got actually from Dawn Michelle. Actually, she made this bag. So cute. Yeah, this is the little bag, and this is a trimmed and edged version that Dawn Michelle did. She's like so much better at this stuff than me. Like if I did like a comparison, oh my goodness. But anyway, yeah, so I also got the like pairing technique from Dawn Michelle, where she puts an oracle deck in the middle and then the tarot on either side. Let me just make sure that we're in the frame. So yeah, so like aesthetically, I can tell already that these just look, you know, it just looks beautiful next to each other. So we have standing stones, ancestors, gateways, sacred. And then we have the Two of Swords, and I believe this is the Eight of Wands. This feels like they belong together. It's got that druid, pagan feeling. And let me put a couple more so that we can see. So this is just what I was doing today. I was taking a look at how the oracle felt, if it felt like it was going to speak to me. So here we have the white stag, shape-shifting support, otherworld, and we have the 10 of cups, ooh, and the 10 of swords. That's interesting. So yeah, like already my mind is going places. Like I can make connections without even having looked this up in the guidebook, which is good for me because I don't always want to have to get into the guidebook in order to you know, in order to connect with my oracle deck. Although I really don't mind getting into guidebooks. So here's another one. We have the Maiden, innocence, love, past, in between the Eight of Cups, and this is, I believe, the Knight, yeah, the Knight of Pentacles. So, interesting. Past, that's cool. I mean, definitely the imagery is speaking to me for sure. So this is what I was doing today, and I was starting here, and then my mind started going because I felt like as I was flipping through this oracle deck, it felt very connected to the fae and fairies, right? So like there's all of these fairy type and fae cards, right? So I wanted to grab a couple of my fairy decks and see how that paired up, because it felt like it was tapping into this like other world, and I kind of wanted to go there and see what, you know, what would happen. So I grabbed the Tarot of the She. I love this deck so much, and this is so, it's funny because so we're in October right now, and this is, you know, the Tarot of the She feels more like a springtime, summertime deck to me, but I really wanted to take a look and see how it would look with, here, I guess let me move it down a little bit so we can get everybody in frame. Oh wow, so the green fairy, mischief, freedom, reckless, in between the warrior princess, so that would be the princess or page of wands, gift of courage, and dreamer 5, hope discarded. So this is dreamers is swords in this tarot deck. So this would be the 5 of swords, hope discarded. Interesting. So freedom, hope discarded, gift of courage. Yeah, I mean, I kind of love the way that they're playing together, the way that we're really kind of transported across these 3 cards into this other realm. And it feels even more spiritual. Like with the Druidcraft next to it, it felt really more grounded in like the earth and like your natural environment, whereas here I feel like we're being transported somewhere else. So let's see, let me grab a couple more. So we have Gwyneth next to Temperance and the Fool, the mother, nurture, present. Wow, this just looks really neat together. Let's grab a couple more. So we have blue, and we have Warrior King and the Lovers. Depressed, isolated, help. Interesting. I really like the way that this looks, and I'm not like trying to do a reading here. What I'm trying to do is kind of feel how these cards feel. I'm just like kind of tapping into like what like initially I'm feeling, like the energy that they're giving me. So it does feel like we have entered this like other world. Let's see. We've got Sacred Waters, the Hermit, and the Greedy Tree. Maker 4 is the Greedy Tree. So that would be the 4 of Pentacles. Yeah, I can, so deep healing, emotions, and pilgrimage. Interesting. Pilgrimage coming up next to the Hermit. That's really cool. I really enjoy that. So yeah, I mean, I think aesthetically we have a good match, and I think also like the world that we're kind of getting into. So like, yeah, this is what is like a kind of like a experiment of how, whether or not I can tell an oracle deck is going to work for me. And because I'm already getting excited about what I'm seeing here just by putting the oracle next to a couple different tarot decks, and I pulled another one as well. So let's grab that one. So this is, for me, this is also what I would consider a fairy or fae deck. This is the Stolen Child Tarot. And out of all of these decks that I've shown you, this is the only one that is in an indie deck. As always, I'll put links below for where you can find these. So let's see, let me grab some more of the Celtic Spirit. So we have the Hare, and then I'll grab a few from the Stolen Child. Oh, I didn't show you, I guess I can, the backs. I'm sure many of you have already seen the Tarot of the She. It's very glossy, so I'm sorry if it's like reflecting too much, but I haven't done any mod other than just edging mine in black. I've seen Don Michelle, among other folks that have modded this in many different ways. I like the black borders. I've thought of chopping them off, but right now I like it the way that it is. Okay, so moving on to the Stolen Child. So this is the Stolen Child Tarot. And this video is just sort of me playing around and showing you, kind of letting you in on what it is that I do with Oracle. So this is the backs of the Stolen Child. I have not edged it, and I don't think I will because it's all white. This deck is like a dream to shuffle. And it's just, yeah, because it's linen cardstock. It's a little bit bigger than regular tarot size. Anyway, let's put some cards next to, and I don't know, for whatever reason, I don't line, when I do Oracle, I don't line them up straight across. Like I'm not just doing this for the sake of the camera, but I always put my Oracle deck a little bit up higher, and then I put my tarot cards on either side. Okay, so let's take a look at this. The hair, otherworld, shape-shifting fertility. Yeah, like now this is, even though this is like a completely different world than both the Druidcraft and the Tarot of the She, I still feel like it is in, like, this Oracle deck is still wanting to talk to this tarot. Talking about shape-shifting, like the entire deck, the Stolen Child, feels like shape-shifting. It is so, it's so this melding of this like child and animal surreal world where it's like you don't know what is going on, but it's so stunning. It's just so pretty. Let me grab another one. Heart Center. And then we have Knight of Oak, Knight of Flame. Interesting. That is really interesting that two knights would come up. Connection, love, receiving. How cool is that? And I would take a look at how these figures are interacting with the animal. Yeah, like it's, so like just outside of like the words that are there, the tarot meanings that I know are associated with these particular cards, it really just, it's transportive. Yeah, it just really feels like there's a language being spoken here. Does that make sense to you guys? Like, it's so hard for me to put into words why I feel like certain Oracle decks work, like outside of just like aesthetically. Like, okay, so we have Bloated Wed. I'm sorry, I know I'm not pronouncing that right. Wisdom, power, transformation. Oh, and we have a sequence here. So 4 of Oak and 5 of Oak. And Oak, I believe, in this deck is the Pentacles, I believe. I'm pretty sure. Wow. Yeah, so we have, I don't know, I just feel like because there's the color story, because of the words, it's just a feeling that I'm getting that's connecting, that this belongs in the same world, and that when I ask it questions about whatever, about my life, whatever you go to the cards for, that it's going to speak to me in a way that I understand. It's gonna resonate. So yeah, that's it's so hard for me to put into words what that means, but like I hope you can see it. Like if you're seeing what I'm seeing, you know. So let's I kind of want to take a look at what this would look like together if I just made like a little bit of a deck family. So let's put this in the middle, and let's grab one card from the Druidcraft here, and I feel like I need another one here. And then I'd like to see how it wants to, I can probably move you up a little bit. Yeah, I can. Here with the stolen child. Oh, that's an interesting, so I'm not even really, let's see. All right, have we gone too far off? Let me move you up. Okay, so let's take a look with everybody here. We can see if this is like a family that makes sense together, because I kind of feel like it does. So here we have from the Celtic Spirit Oracle, we have rest, stop, recharge, self-care. And we have this fairy creature in a flower. I'm not sure what this symbol is. I would have to look that up. And then we have the Tower, and we have the Ace of Cups. And then down below, we have Dreamer 8, which would be the Eight of Swords, Web of Mirrors. And we also have the Three of Zephyrs from the Stolen Child Tarot, which would be the Three of Swords. And we have Temperance, which is one of my favorite cards in this deck. It reminds me of a cartoon that I saw when I was a kid. So, yeah, I feel like these do feel like they're in some sort of like, what's the word? Like a series of portals that you can go through and visit. And then the lessons from that trip are here. So like, without getting like too in the weeds of doing like an actual tarot reading or an actual tarot and oracle reading, like probably what I would do here, because I feel like I wouldn't get so hung up on the tarot meanings alongside this. I would probably just kind of use my intuition. And there's a lot kind of to go on here. Maybe a little bit too much. Maybe a little bit too much. Maybe there's too much busyness. But that's kind of why I like this particular oracle. Let's try with the oracle. Let me get the oracle in the middle again. And let's try with, here, let's try this with here. And then maybe just one Druidcraft down here. Yeah, I can see this as a little bit of a family. So we have justice, we have the world, we have she of the woods, peace, connection, and home, and we have temperance down below here. What if we did, yes. Yeah, I really do. I wasn't sure about the Celtic Spirit Oracle when I first just opened it and looked at it on its own. Like, I loved it when I saw it on flip throughs, and I think Kelly at the Truth and Story was the one who really kind of, you know, like made me, you know, when I watched it on her channel, I got interested in it. And then I looked at some flip throughs and I had it on my wish list, and then I just got it. And then it's been, I've been waiting to work with it. I wanted to work with it around this time of year. And so, yeah, exactly. Like I brought it out and I wasn't sure when I just looked at it on its own if it was going to be something that would work for me. Now, not to say that I don't use some oracle decks just plain on their own, but this one, for whatever reason, maybe because of the starkness of the background and that it's just this like central image and that it has 3 different keywords, it made me feel like it wanted to talk to other tarot and oracle. Let's try something else. Just playing here so you guys can see like what goes through my mind. So let me see this way if we do up here and then here. Maybe we can do something like this and see how that feels. I feel like you'd want to go right here. Interesting. I hope you can see this whole thing on camera. Yeah, you can. So, yeah, this feels like a deck family. It feels like they want to talk to one another. So here we have Dream, Manifestation, Plan, and Be. We have from the Tarot of the She, Warrior 6, so this is the 6 of Wands, no foe too great. And Warrior 8, the 8 of Wands, Dragonflight. It's very much like bringing into being what you want, like with success, with perseverance, with that flame and fire within you. And it feels as though, I want to say this is the Ace of Pentacles for the Druidcraft. And the Devil from the Stolen Child. That's interesting too. That makes me think of Rikki Tikki Tavi, although Rikki Tikki Tavi was a mongoose, but it was all about snakes that he, I love that short story. It's one I've taught and one I've read many times. And then the 3 of Flames. So we've got lots of fiery energy going on here, but also this like dreamy, planning, you know, kind of focus with this card. And it really like 100% feels like this is a transportive like trip into like this other, like several other types of dimensions, that like this is your jumping off point to journey into these other places and visit with these creatures and this like otherworldly place and storyline. And it's very, yeah, for me, like all of this imagery together it's a lot, you know, to go off of, and you can like work through it, and then yeah, I feel like you can travel through it and come back. Yeah, that's just sort of like how I'm feeling right at the moment with all of these decks together. But I mean, I really do like, this Oracle deck paired with all of these separately as well as on its own, for sure. I think this might be my favorite pairing, the Tarot of the She. Although I was going to be using it with the Druidcraft, was the first one that I was thinking I was going to be using it with. Next month. What do you guys think? Which one of these is your favorite together? Let's just look at a few more. I'm trying to grab ones that I haven't shown you yet. Just taking a look. That's with the Druidcraft. One more with Druidcraft. How do we like that one? You want to see more with the Tarot of the She? I do. I think this one might be the one I love the most. What do you guys think? I feel like because these decks have so much intricate detail going on, that having an oracle deck that has a more stark, you know, more plain kind of background, it opens up the gateway. That's what it does. It opens the gateway a little bit more. Do you want to see some more with the Stolen Child? And then we can wrap it up here. Let's do some more with the Stolen Child. I love these decks so much. The ones that I picked. Of course I do, right? Here, let me take that. What do we think? Which one's your favorite? Portal. Well, that is just, I love this High Priestess. That is exactly what this Celtic Spirit Oracle feels like to me. It feels like a portal and a gateway. It's like, you know, it's a perfect, it's a really perfect type of Oracle deck that to kind of transport you and pair and speak to and learn from with other decks. And it feels very much tied to it feels very tied to the Fae, but it also feels tied to the earth. I guess that's the idea, right? Not my favorite full card, but that's okay. Yeah. So tell me which ones you guys preferred. I think I'm going to have a play with several of these next month. If not next month, then definitely again. I really do feel like just taking your decks out and putting them next to each other and having a play and having a conversation with yourself about what you're seeing. And I feel like it's okay not to take it too seriously. Like, just whatever you're not like in that moment where you're not actually doing necessarily a reading, just allow yourself to put things next to each other, talk about what you see and what you feel, and look into the guidebook if you want to, and move things around. And if it doesn't look like it should sit that way, then change it. You know, for me, it's empowering for me to have these kinds of play moments and conversations with myself about the decks that I want to work with. It is what has helped me figure out how Oracle is, fits into my practice, how I want to use Oracle going forward. Yeah, it's exactly, it's just a play. It's just experiment. It's just for fun to see if it's something that's gonna work out for me in the future. All right, well, that's it. So that was the Celtic Spirit Oracle, which kind of led me down this rabbit hole of how I play with and figure out if Oracle's gonna work for me. It's looking good. It's like promising. So like I have not yet done an actual reading. This was all just kind of play and just experimental exploration. And that's, I guess, I wanted to share it with you because I wanted to encourage you and empower you to also do this kind of thing. I get asked sometimes, why I choose to use the things that I choose and what leads me, to pair what I pair and how do I get the idea. And like, I just sort of put the cards down. Like if you, one of the best pieces of advice I got from more seasoned tarot readers and oracle readers was to just use your cards, like lay them down and see what happens. And I think that's, what one of the most joyful things about having a practice is experimenting and exploring. I know I keep using those words. So yeah, so that's what brought me here. This was a bit of a ramble for you today and a bit of a play and some eye candy. And hopefully you were feeling some of the same energy that I was getting from these pairings and this, movement through these different decks. So this is the Celtic Spirit Oracle, the Tarot of the She, the Druidcraft Tarot, and the Stolen Child Tarot. I hope that you enjoyed that. And if you like content like this, where I'm just kind of like rambling and talking about, how I do what I do, what it is that I do when I'm, working with my cards, then I'll be happy to make more like this. Let me know. Once again, thank you so much for sticking around with me. I hope that you all have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye.